Without further ado, Carolyn?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Well, thank you to the GELF team for having Bambuser here today. So I'm Caroline Nuckolls. I'm our head of sales for the Americas. I'm filling in for our president, Sophie. She had some passport issues, so hopefully you'll bear with me on this a little bit. But we're here to talk about video commerce. So great follow-up, actually, from the slide you were seeing previously there. But specifically, recession-proofing your e-commerce through video commerce and how that can work with consumer loyalty. So I want to talk a little bit about video commerce overall and why this matters. I think, as you saw before, it's huge in China already, social commerce, live streaming, but there's still a little bit of kind of a question mark in the US market. Is this working? Do we need to focus here? And I'm here to tell you, yes. So $68 billion USD projected for the US video commerce market by 2025. And that's with 54% of US shoppers having watched a live stream. And I think what's powerful there is that that's already a huge percentage of US shoppers, but there's still so much more ground to cover. And we at Bambuser are seeing with our clients that this is actually moving ahead of trend. So our customers are seeing a 200% growth year over year in the watches of their shows. And that's really showing that through educating and consistency, they're able to kind of get their consumer to adopt this trend even faster. And what kind of results in ROI can you see? So on average, Bambuser clients are seeing a 10% conversion rate. So 10% of all consumers watching a video are actually making a purchase, and doubling the basket size, so increasing average order value, getting more out of each shopper. So why do we as Bambuser know and are here to kind of give you our expertise on this? Bambuser started in pure play live streaming. In 2019, we pivoted into the live video shopping or video commerce space. And we were really the first company to bring this to the West. We're a Swedish-based company. We now have an office here in New York, offices globally. But since inception, we've done over 50,000 live shows with our clients, did over 25,000 last year alone. So we really know what's working, what's not. Not only do we have the technology to support this type of selling and make it very easy for you to do so, but also the professional services, coaching, expertise to help fill in the gaps. We know a lot of companies are working with limited bandwidth, limited resources right now, so we can really help you to do that. So with the upcoming economic headwinds, hopefully we're looking at more of a soft landing than absolute recession here, but retailers will need to compete for shoppers' wallets by creating connections and building trust. So when the spending habits of your customers change, of course, then how you sell will also have to change. So have a video to inspire you. Great, so hopefully the music helped wake everybody up a little bit. But yeah, so we are Bambuser. We are specialists in video commerce. We offer two main solutions. The first is our one-to-many. So this can be a lot of different things. This can be live streaming events from in your store or different places. This can be shoppable runway shows. This can also be video on demand, so building kind of a library of experiences that people can watch at their own time and convenience. Or this can also be short shoppable videos, so adding little clips to your PDP pages to help increase conversions. It's interactive, viewers can chat, ask questions, and of course linked to your products. Because our solutions embed directly on your e-commerce site, the transaction is always going through your checkout. So you always own the entire customer journey and therefore the data. Second, we also have a one-to-one solution. So taking that kind of consultative approach even further, you can truly give someone the experience they would get in store, but on your e-commerce site by putting your sellers in front of them and allowing them to guide them through the shopping journey. So I want to start with kind of what one-to-many looks like and the results that it's driving for our customers. So on average, we're seeing with a Bambuser live show, people viewing for 9 minutes. So that's a really long time to talk to your shopper. About every third person is engaging in the chat and asking a question. And on average, 10% are actually making a purchase. And again, that's just the average across all of our customers. So how do you truly connect with your consumers? So by creating personalized and unique experiences. So Bambuser did, in partnership with Coresight Research, a study kind of to analyze the live commerce market overall. And we had 4 main insights that we wanted to surface today. So first being that retailers will use live commerce to meet consumer demand and deliver personalized experiences. I think more and more personalization is a really big buzzword. How can you make sure it's not a one-size-fits-all user journey and you're actually putting the right experience and information in front of the right shopper? Second, brands and retailers with successful live commerce campaigns understand the importance of consistency. So this is not a one-off event type of strategy. You need to think long-term and you need to think integrated. So how are you working this into your marketing calendar, into your communication plans, making sure that all kind of teams are involved and that you're using this in a smart way. Consistency is key. We have customers going live, as frequently as multiple times a day. Of course, not everyone needs to go at that frequency, but this isn't just kind of a one-off sort of thing. Third, educational content and transparent information remain key strategies to maintain loyal customers. So by providing more education and the right context with the product, you can really increase conversion rate, and that's the information that customers crave. Finally, and further to that, industry experts and knowledgeable influencers provide consumers with authentic and informed content. I think consumers are getting a lot smarter. They can see through some of the paid sponsorships and things like that. They really crave the authenticity and understanding if this product will work for them. And we actually see kind of a halo effect here of returns being drastically reduced. If they understand they're getting the right product, the right size, et cetera, then they're less likely to return. A loyal customer is worth 22 times the average customer. So with rising costs of customer acquisition, this becomes very important. Fostering consumer loyalty is now more important than ever. And we wanted to dig in a little bit more on the consumer analysis side of things. So looking at actual shoppers who are using this type of format to buy. And I think what these numbers tell is really interesting because it's not high percentages, right? There's no 80, 90% here. So this really tells me that it can be very varied what a consumer is expecting from a video commerce experience. So some may be expecting a good deal, giveaways and incentives. Others want to discover new products. Others want to hear from industry experts, going back to that educational piece. And then finally, others want to make sure they're seeing actual reviews and things. But I think the key point here is because you can do this directly on your site, you can talk to your community. You can understand from them what they want to see and then react to that. So again, you are in charge of the data and can draw direct feedback through polling your audience or asking them questions. That is really key. And so to kind of move into further personalization, while one-to-many events will continue to be effective in reaching consumers, private experiences improve conversion even further and increase brand loyalty. So we have a few ways of doing this. We've recently at Bambuser introduced a new feature that is invite only. So a great way for brands to give added value to their existing community. Cool. So here's a quick video showing how this can work, where instead of having an open event that anyone can join, you can actually say for those shoppers that have shopped with you already or that maybe you have in a loyalty program, you can give them an experience that is exclusive, that is special to them, or that is personalized to a product that you know they have purchased. And then the ultimate type of personalization is through one-to-one. So this is where you can have a shopper, consumer, actually have that kind of in-person experience, but online, where they can talk to someone from your team. So one-on-one conversation where a consultant or personal shopper, whoever it may be, can actually recommend product, compare them, guide them through the entire journey through checkout. And the results here are pretty powerful. So average meeting time, 14 minutes, so spending quality time with that shopper. Average order value increasing double, so double the purchase order value. And we're really seeing that customers are willing to pay more when they're given a better experience. And 64% conversion rate, so whopping 64% conversion rate of people calling in through a one-to-one call and actually making a purchase. So that was a little overview of Bambuser video commerce. So join us. We are reshaping commerce through video experiences. But don't just take it from me. I am very honored today to have one of our lovely clients join us. So please welcome to the stage Catherine Seaton, the Vice President of Marketing for Windsor. Awesome. Hi, Catherine. Hi. Great. So first off, I'd love for you just to present yourself and tell us a little bit about Windsor.
Sure. So I'm Catherine Seaton. I'm the Vice President of Marketing at Windsor. For those of you who are not familiar with us, we have been around since 1937. We're a specialty women's apparel retailer, and we have a little over 325 stores throughout the U.S. and Puerto Rico. We just launched in Puerto Rico last year, and this year we're moving into Canada, so really exciting expansions on that front. With live commerce, when we were going through COVID, having the store base that we did, we realized that we needed to find a way to connect with our customers because our stores were closed. And so we really started looking at video commerce as a way to do that. And so we actually launched live shopping in February of 2021, so 2 years ago. And we launched natively on Facebook and Instagram first because that was there and it was really easy. We were able to bring over our existing fans that were already following us on social, and that was really exciting. It gave us an opportunity to really figure out how to do lives. And we still do 5 lives a week. So we go live 5 days a week, covering everything from what to wear for date night to bachelorette party to what's trending in prom dresses for this year, because we're very occasion-based on that side of it. And as Facebook deprecated live shopping, we started looking around at all of the platforms that were out there for video commerce, because it's something that we feel is really important and really strong for us to continue with. And we landed with Bambuser, which was great, and we actually launched just over a month ago, so really new, but we've had so many learnings already. And as I was watching your presentation, it really hit home on a lot of those different aspects of it, because it is really easy to use on that side.
Great, that's amazing to hear. How did you kind of build the team that you needed to be able to go with that consistency? Because I know that's a question a lot of brands ask us.
It is, and we went all in out the gate. So we built a studio, we hired a producer, and we hired 3 hosts immediately, because it was something we really believed in. We didn't want to do a one and done. We knew that it was going to take us time to learn and to figure it out. And so we made an investment in that as a company. We didn't spend a ton of money on a studio, but we definitely invested in it and brought in the staff to do it. And then we just started. We just started going live. We tested different times a day, different days of the week, different stories. Do we show a lot of product? Do we show a little product? Do we do an hour live? Do we do a 15-minute live? I mean, it's kind of all over the board, but I think you do have to decide to commit to it if it's something you really want to do well.
Yeah, I think that is, you hit the nail on the head. A lot of people are sort of in that analysis paralysis to just get started, and you sort of just need to try things and see what works. What are some of the learnings you had? Like, what was your audience telling you worked well versus what didn't?
Definitely an hour was too long. That was one of the ones, so one of the questions we always ask ourselves, right, is, are we talking to ourselves or are we talking to our customer? And we found that we were talking to ourselves a lot, so that was one of them. Definitely diversity and variety in hosts, in product, in how to style versus what's new and trending. So lots of different pieces, how to wear, how to go from work day to date night, right? Like how to transition and use what's in your closet. But a lot of it was connecting with the customer. In every show that we do, we always ask her throughout the show, what questions do you have? What events are coming up? What can we help you find an outfit for? What do you want to see from us next week? And if you ask those questions, you'll get answers back. So like, don't be afraid to ask your community what they're looking for. They'll tell you.
Yeah, I think that's really key. Sometimes we make assumptions about what our community is, whereas when you actually have the ability to go direct to them, you can really have some powerful learnings.
Well, and that's what was so great about live, is that we got to talk to her a lot. And what's been really interesting as we've moved to Bambuser and move live on platform is the conversation has shifted. A lot of the conversation before from our consumers used to be much more, oh, that's really cute, I love that dress, what's the name of it, how do I find it on your site? Now that we're on Bambuser and we're letting customers know that we're live while she's already on site shopping, she's coming over to the live and we're starting to get her wanting a stylist real time. And so we're getting a lot more of, hey, I'm on your site right now, and I have a date Friday night. What should I wear? And we're doing a show about prom dresses. You know, we don't have a bunch of prom dresses in there right there. And so we've, even just in the first 4 or 5 weeks, started really seeing the conversation shift to our customers who are on our site, which has been amazing, because we can then really help her as she's going through that shopping experience. And to your point about conversion and AOV, our conversion rate is significantly higher, and our AOV is much higher than what we see on average on site with Bambuser already out the gate. So we've been really pleased with that.
That's great. So glad to hear. I'd love to hear a little bit. I know you started on social platforms and then moved on site. How is that transition? Is there anything people should keep in mind if they're thinking of going that way? We obviously think it's great to do both and kind of capture the audience where it is, but there's certainly some differences, to your point.
There are some very big differences. One, on some of the social channels, your videos don't save, and you're live, and then it disappears. And while having lives is great to interact with the consumer real time, she's not always available when you're doing a show. And the on-demand portion has been fabulous for us. And we've been looking at sales during the live and then watching what's been coming in on demand as well after. We still go live on social. We usually let her know we're about to go live on our site, and we invite her over. And we really look at live commerce now as an exclusive offering for her that she can only get from us on site to really pull her into that. It's much easier for her to transact, to get a head-to-toe look, to ask questions. It's really much more of a seamless experience. And so we want lives, at least for right now, to be exclusive content she can only find on site, but we still go out on social and invite her over before every show. We let her know what our upcoming shows are. We share our schedules. And so I think if you keep that conversation in social to let her know, you'll pull her in.
Yeah, definitely. That makes a lot of sense. What are any other key learnings you've had for maybe some e-commerce leaders here that have been considering video commerce, things they should know and be aware of?
It's easier than you think. Don't be afraid.
Love that.
It seems really scary sometimes. You know, it's like herding cats, right? It's this great unknown. You don't know what's going to happen with it. And I think just not being afraid to go out there and try it. Launching with Bambuser, we've already tested going live in store. We've already tested going live with influencers out of their homes across the country. And it's all been really easy. And it's scary, right? Because when you're in store, you're like, is there going to be more traffic? Are we going to have the right lighting? What's our Wi-Fi going to be like? You have all these things that you worry about that a lot of times will stop you from trying something. You know, if we let an influencer go live in her home, is she going to have good lighting? What's the background going to be? You don't know. And I think just being open to try that, you will be surprised at how easy it is. Plan it is my biggest advice to you. We plan, our live schedule is done all the way through the month of March, and we're planning April next week. So we plan our schedule out in advance. It runs off of our main marketing calendar. It ties into all of our main marketing campaigns. So you have to spend the time and effort to plan it. As much as I'm like, just go crazy and try it, you do have to put in the time and effort to plan it and be intentional about it. And you have to look at the numbers. We look at the numbers every single Monday. We sit down and we review it as a team. How are different hosts performing? How are different occasion themes and products performing, so that you're constantly learning from what you're doing?
Yeah, that's really key. I think actually once you have the data, taking the time to look into it. You talked about the planning of it. We also definitely, tell brands and retailers that that's a huge thing they need to do. What sort of cross-functional team do you have at Windsor that goes into making that kind of integrated strategy?
So we meet with our merchandising and planning team. That's really where it all, at the end of the day, it's all about your product, right? We can have the best marketing team in the world, but if you don't have the right product, it's not going to matter. So it always starts with merchandising. We go through a merch turnover for the month, and then we plan all of our marketing stories out of that. And then for marketing, we run all of marketing in-house. And so all of that team sits within the marketing organization. You have to partner really closely with IT, because when you're about to go live and your Wi-Fi doesn't connect or your app's not loading or whatever it is. So they've been really key partners for us, just being on call and helping us go live on different things. We're doing a fashion show in March at Irvine Spectrum, and we're going to be live streaming that. And that, again, is really scary. But at the same time, it's really exciting to be trying something new and to be able to bring a fashion show experience to our consumers that live throughout the U.S. and around the world, because not everybody lives in Southern California. And so that's really exciting as well. But I think, to your point on cross-functional teams, you've got to be tied into merchandise and planning. You've got to be really tight with your IT team.
Yeah, I think that's all good advice. I know you mentioned the event you have upcoming, which is great. Any other kind of video commerce plans for the future, things you haven't done yet that you're excited to explore?
Gosh, I'm still trying to wrap my head around getting live. You know, I think the way I look at it is like this. When we build our marketing budget every year, we always have a little bit that's a TBD, because you don't know what's going to be next, right? We didn't know Snap was coming, then we didn't know TikTok. Now live commerce is this thing. Like, I don't know what it's going to be in 6 years, in 6 months. I mean, but I'm excited about whatever that's going to be. I think in live commerce in particular, it's really just about continuing to explore and be open. The one thing we haven't done yet is the one-to-one. And that to me is really interesting now that I'm starting to see the questions from our customers while she's on site and actually shopping. She's looking for a stylist to help her pick out an outfit and dress her head to toe. And our mission is to inspire and empower women from a fashion perspective. And that means making fashion accessible, which means making help you pull your outfit together accessible, right? We really want her to look at us as her best friend on Friday night. You're drinking a glass of wine, you're getting dressed at somebody's house and picking out your outfits. You always have that one friend in your group that your go-to. We want to be that friend for you. And so I like the one-to-one piece of it and figuring out how do we start bringing that to life, and where do we start that experience? Is that with brides who have a whole lot of events that they have to do, from engagement photos to bachelorette to rehearsals to the honeymoon? Like, where do we start that? But I definitely think the one-to-one piece is something I'm excited about.
Yeah, very cool. I think Windsor is such an amazing brand to talk about loyalty in that context, because as you've shared, sometimes you're starting with the customer on their very first special occasion dress, and then going all the way through their lifetime. So how do you guys think about that internally? I know you've shared with us before, but
Yeah.
I'd love to hear you describe it.
We look at it as a long-term relationship because our customers discover us, 8th grade promotion, first homecoming dance, and we're with our customers through really memorable moments in their life, and we want to help make that really special. And she keeps coming back to us, right, as she's starting to date, as she's getting married, as she's having kids, as her daughter's going to prom. And so it is, while live shopping even is about selling a product, it is also about connecting with a customer and giving her that content that helps her. It's the same reason we have a blog. Right now, I'll give you an example. A lot of people are looking for jobs, and we just shared a blog post out on LinkedIn that are interview outfit ideas. And it's not to get people to come by, it's how do you take what's in your closet and pull together different interview looks based on the type of role or company that you're interviewing at, because that's the content she looks for, and that's the relationship and loyalty piece. We want to be there for her for those things, not just when she needs the dress on New Year's Day for her New Year's party that night.
Yeah, I think that's amazing, and consumers are really looking for brands that give them that bit more than just selling them products, so love that. Catherine, thank you. This has been amazing. Is there anything else, I didn't ask you about that you want to share?
No, I mean, it's been a really fun ride so far. I'm really looking forward to where you guys continue to develop your technology and how we continue to connect with the customer. And I would just emphasize, don't be afraid. Yeah. Thank you.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much. And we have a code here if you want to check out some of the shows Windsor has done. And then I will also just add the Bambuser team. We have a table right by the one-to-one room. So please stop by, chat with us there. But thank you so much again, Catherine. Appreciate it.
Thank you both. Great job.